is how important sleep is, and especially as we age, for the health of our brain. And so this idea, sleeping pills, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe does it help in order to get that deep REM sleep, or sorry, non-REM sleep, or is it going to cause more problems than it might be actually providing?
hmm A really interesting paper came out. It was published, I believe, January 31st, 2023, like brand new. It showed that, yeah, in some people, using sleeping pills does in fact increase their risk of dementia. So I want to go further into what the paper kind of showed. So they took 3,000 aging adults that did not have dementia, and they followed them for 15 years. And what they found, this is really alarming, is that those who reported taking sleeping pills often or almost always had a 79% higher risk, 79% higher risk of, by the end of that study, 15 years later, having been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. So scientists were like, holy Christ. So then they went back into their stats and tried to make more sense, because that first number is very alarming. Almost 80% higher chance if you're taking sleeping pills. So then one of the first things, then they went back and looked at the research in a different way and reanalyzed it according to race. And what came out was really interesting. They found that this effect was almost 100% in white participants. In Black participants, there was no difference between those who reported never being on sleeping pills, taking them sometimes, often, or almost always. Their risk of dementia stayed the same. So something was going on with sleeping pills in the Caucasian population. So then the scientists looked even deeper into their data, and they're like, what are white patients taking differently? And it turns out Caucasian populations are taking different types of sleeping pills. So when you look at the white participants in this study, they were twice as likely to be taking benzodiazepines for their sleep. They were 10 times more likely to be using antidepressants as a sleep aid. And they were 7 times as likely to be using sedative hypnotics to get them to sleep. So the scientists hypothesized, like, whoa, okay, it's these categories of meds that potentially are a link. And one thing that they hypothesized that connects all these 3 types of medications, they all deplete the memory neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is what goes away in the brain of somebody who has dementia. We don't know why. And these meds unfortunately deplete it. So bottom line, yes, in some populations, this first study showed in Caucasian populations specifically, yeah, there's almost an 80% increased risk when you're taking these pills regularly. So yeah, like you said, Malcolm, I think sleep is so important, but I think learning how to address it naturally is going to be of utmost importance as we start seeing research like this. This was just the first to show it, and it blew everyone's minds. And I'm sure more are going to come out and repeat it and lend more kind of to this. So